Hey guys, what up? We
Hey.
are back and we're doing it a little bit different. Jay is
Yeah,
at her house and I am at mine.
for sure, for
Please,
sure.
guys, stay safe. We're asking everyone. But tonight, we're really not in the same place just because it's night. It's a work night. I'm
What?
sorry.
You gotta do what it
So
do.
tonight,
Yeah, and I'm on my
so
laptop
tonight,
and the camera's a little bit. So excuse me, guys.
you know what?
Be
It's
nice.
okay.
Take care.
We said we're going to get this in, so we're going to get it in. We are going to talk about love from a man's perspective. So we were supposed to have two candidates on the phone with us telling us how they feel.
Yeah.
However, due to circumstances, one couldn't, and that's all right. So we're going to have someone with us today. But before we go any further, Jay, you tell them what we got to do.
You guys already know. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Make sure you share this video and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a
beat.
All
You
right.
know what it is.
All right. Just have to point.
All right, guys. So we are back, and now we have our special guest with us. He is going to be talking to us tonight. As I said, we're supposed to have two. However, we have one, and he's going to give us his thoughts of what the average man is looking for out of love, right? So tonight we have with us is Anthony Love. Show love. Hello,
Yeah.
Anthony.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
I'm all right. Glad to hear.
That's good. So we thank you for coming on L and J's TV, and we're gonna get started on what's love, a men's session. You want to call it that, Jay, or we trying to do something different?
We can do that.
All right. So, so this is gonna be the male session of it. We did a females, where we spoke about what love is for us. Now, Mr. Show Love, we want to know, what do you think love is, or what do you expect from a female?
All right. Okay. Well, that's a two-part question, right? So I guess the first part is, what is love?
Right.
For me, love is a rational thought. So I don't equate love as a heart feeling, right? I always tell people to love with your mind, not love with your heart, because the heart is impulsive, as opposed to the mind and your brain, where you could rationalize your feelings. Where when you ask somebody why do they love you, they say they automatically think, why do I love the person? They don't feel why I love the person. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So then you start to think, okay, what does that person do? How do they make me feel? What are the characteristics of their actions that they display to me that make me feel like I love them? Right. You start to think. You don't start to feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right. And
what is love? It's a rational action all day to me.
Okay. And did you come up with that now, or did you always think that way?
It's always. Not I can't say always. However, since I've been awakened, you know what I'm saying, since I've started to look and dive into my being and certain thoughts, I start to theorize things, right? I call myself a self-philosopher, so I would have to say, once I've been awakened, those thoughts have kind of been, they came upon me.
All right. So you answered the first part of the question. What about the second?
All right. So what does the average man, you're saying, look for in love or in a woman?
Sorry,
Is that,
cut out there.
are you asking what does the average man look for in a man, in a woman, or in love?
In love.
All right, so I
Or
can't
would it be
speak to
3
that.
parts now?
See,
Let's
all right,
go with love.
all right. So I can't speak about the average man because I'm not the average man.
I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this.
Okay. All right.
So,
Fine.
in my perspective, like I told you, love is a rational. It's a rational action, right? However, for me, I allow love to flow, right? So the actions that a person displays continuously, it has to be a consistent action. If it's not a consistent action, you can't say there's love there, right? Because now you're displaying something that is it's past your characteristic, right? You're displaying something that's beyond you. And love is beyond all of us.
So you're saying the action of love is rational, but is the feeling of love rational? Because sometimes people can love in an irrational way that it's not logical. It doesn't make sense. How do you love this person if they're hurting you, if they're not giving you the attention you want? So maybe like it could be more so your action is rational, but
So
like
are
your
you not rationalizing those actions at the same time? You're still rationalizing what the person is doing.
Well, it depends on the hand that you're receiving it from. Are you the one giving the love, or are you the one receiving it? Because I can say, I feel that I love someone and my actions are rational, my feeling is rational, but the person that I love does not reciprocate that feeling back. So therefore,
I understand one.
people rational.
So now you're leading into something that's perception, right? People may think they're loving the right way, right? So your perception is that I'm loving the right way. But in all actuality, that person is not receiving the love that in the way you meant it for them to receive.
So in that sense, is love subjective?
It is objective, because if somebody does not receive if somebody does not receive the love the way it was meant for it to receive, was the love received? Just like the intention. If the intention of what you were trying to display to somebody was not received, was the intention received?
Nope.
Right? So if it was not received, then there was a breakdown, there was a miscommunication, there was something in between that made it I would say not be accomplished. Your objective was not accomplished. Right? So intention should matter over perception, really and truly. But then we have a breakdown in communication a lot of times where perception takes the forefront and intention takes the back front, right?
Yeah. Because it's like you're coming from different angles. Like
exactly.
If I'm standing in the corner, we're in a room and we see the TV is there. But if I'm in the far back corner, I'm going to see the screen in a different way. But we're all watching the same movie.
Yes. Correct. Right? So the intention of the movie is out there, but it's how you perceive it, right? How am I perceiving this? If we're not on the same frequency or the same wavelength, how are we going to be saying we're one in unison, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I could say really on that aspect, right? But I would say, in honesty, the average man is going to say the simplest things of what they look for in love. They're going to say they look for loyalty, right? They're going to look for, you can say in a good woman, you'll find loyalty. You'll find independence or submissiveness and so forth, which is not really needed.
The average man may say what he's looking for in a woman as something, the typical things like being loyal, being submissive,
right?
Those type of characteristics.
Those type of characteristics, correct, right? And they will still want a woman to stay at home and cater at home for them in the so-called traditional way, right?
Yeah.
It's a new day. This is 2020. It's a millennium. It's 2021. You know what I'm saying? Women are the forefront. If a man doesn't know that woman is a superior being more than a man, then a man is still has a lot to learn.
Whew.
I hope you heard that, men. We run the world.
I don't know about that.
It's the truth, right? when the man realizes, then they'll see that a woman is a superior being, then they'll know. But a lot of times, the man's ego will push them and catapult them forward to say, okay, no, I am above you. You know, you should be submissive to me because I am the head. I am so and so. But if you think about what makes a man the head, I ask you guys these questions. What makes a man the head?
You know what? I may be going a little bit biblical, but like, for me, it's honestly, I think it just depends on you, on your relationship, and what you and that person develops and what you guys have shaped together as your relationship to define if someone is the head or not. Because
Agree.
my marriage, I wouldn't want to say my husband's the head, and I wouldn't want to say I'm the head, but like I want to say I put him here. Like I'm expecting him to like lead the family in some way, but I'm also contributing myself. Like it's so hard to explain because I think it's very subjective, and it depends on your relationship and how you guys do things. Like one night he'll cook, the next night I may cook. But for some people, it's like, listen, the female's cooking, I'm not doing it. She's cleaning, I'm not doing it. But like, we have an agreement on how we decide to do things. So going back to your question on what makes the male the head, I kind of biblically go back to the whole Adam and Eve in the beginning, you know. My husband was mentioning this story to me. Or this new findings from the Bible in the sense of do you guys know the story of Job in the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and how the devil basically said, you know, I wanted trouble. I'm just rephrasing in my own words. I basically want to go after a man that has a heart after God. And so like I want to go after Job, and God's like, okay, you can go after him, but you can't touch his soul. You can take everything from him. Basically, in our days, sorry?
No, continue. I know exactly. So the story is not keep taking.
Yeah, so yes. So you can basically take everything from him, take his house, take his Mercedes. I'm saying in our terms, so whoever's watching it at home from the
you can relate.
get it. So God's basically, you can take everything, take his house, take his cell phone, take his Mercedes, take his Airbnb house that he's renting out. Take everything.
Yes.
But you can't.
All the vanity.
Yes. So that was like, all right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make him have this sickness. I'm gonna make him lose his home, his family, all his investments, his shares. I'm gonna leave him with nothing and make sure, even worse, I'm gonna make him sick. And I'm gonna have his wife tell him to curse God and die.
Yes.
But he doesn't do it. But the crazy thing about this whole story, this is what my husband was mentioning to me, is that the devil never did anything to his wife. And the question was like, why? Like she wasn't even supportive of him still praying to God and believing in God. And the whole reason was because him and his wife were one flesh. And the devil had to respect that covenant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it goes back to the whole Adam and Eve. Eve came from his womb.
Okay.
His womb man. But I mean, everyone has their own perspective. That's fine. But it leads back to the whole fact of, for me, the man is kind of the head. And I say kind of because when you say head, some people may view it as they lead everything. The woman has no say.
Yes.
Has no opinion. But that, I don't think that is the meaning or the ideal that is wanting to come across. It's more so he's the first. He's
Mm-hmm.
Let me find another analogy to say.
No, I understand your analogy. I understand your perspective and the objective of what you're saying. Okay. So what I'm saying now, your perspective is based solely off of a biblical story.
Right.
Correct? So if that biblical story did not exist, how would the man be the head? Is what I'm more saying, right? Because even when a biblical story if we all followed that, right, which we don't, right?
Mhm.
A man is supposed to be a leader, a forth knowledge, carrier, a protector. These are the simple things of a man, what they're supposed to be. In the new millennium,
Yeah.
what's the percentage of men that display that?
I do not
I'm just saying,
know.
rough guess. If you had to guess, 25%, 30%, 10%, 50, 60, how many display that? A protector, a provider, a leader, confidant, however you want to.
Maybe a 65%.
Oh, you're being generous.
I am being generous.
Yes, you are. You're being very generous.
Yeah.
Right? So the whole mantra of I am man, hear me roar, that has gone out the door. All right. So a lot of men are still finding their place now. You know? They don't even know how to be independent without a woman, really and truly, and they don't even know it because they're lost until they find a good woman beside them. What do you usually say? Beside every good man is what?
A good woman.
All right. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Story of the man being the unbeliever. Because if you could think about it, what is there that a man can do that a woman can't do? It's just, to me, it's just like you could just see.
A woman doesn't have sperm.
Understand, that's the only thing. If you're gonna say, right, a physique, they transcend what is there to help make a child, right?
Okay.
But otherwise, from that, a woman, you could nurture a child, you could carry life, you could build life within you, and you still go about your daily goals or your daily activities. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You nurture life, you carry life into this world, you birth life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have that ability. Not every woman does, or however, as a woman and as a mother, you have that ability, right? That is something no man could ever fathom going through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The fact that you carry a whole life.
So do you think that when it comes to loving someone or a male seeking love, are they looking for that love they've received from their mother?
That, honestly, think about it. That's the only love they've ever known. The only true love. If they've received that love, if a mother has given them love, the only love they've ever known is what they've received from a mother. Until they've received love from a counterpart, a relationship, whether it's 16, 15, 17, so forth, right? But the only true love you've ever really known is your mother's love.
Yeah. In like psychology, it's called like, I think, Oedipus effect or something.
Yes, correct.
Basically, it's this theory of the fact of male, the way he says it sounds really creepy, that males have a desire for their mother, like a sexual desire. Right. But from my understanding, I feel like it's what we're talking about. Like
I wouldn't say sexual, probably an intimate desire.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but his is kind of creepy. But
yeah, definitely intimate desire, because that's the only love. That's the only person that sheltered you with love and affection.
Yeah.
Your whole life, right? So you're gonna equate any woman that you feel that type of affection towards, or that type of admiration towards, you're gonna equate them with your mother, right?
Well, we hope that they do that.
Yeah, in a sense, you hope with it, right? Because you really and truly, you always want a woman like your mother. If a woman shows sparks and characteristics of something in your mother, you're gonna more lean towards her, because that's your norm. That's what you're used to. If somebody shows opposite signs, it doesn't mean you're not gonna gear towards them. But we have lust, we have all kinds of stuff that would draw us to that person, right? However, to settle down with and say, I'm gonna marry someone and spend the rest of my life with them, you want to see characteristics of your mother in them.
Okay, so you just touched on one thing we wanted to talk about, is marriage.
Yes.
A lot of men are afraid, or my opinion is that a lot of men are afraid to commit And what would your thoughts be of why men are afraid to say I do or a certificate? Why is that?
I can tell you, Ron 100, right now, every man wants to feel, just like women want to feel secure, a man wants to feel secure. So the man is thinking in their mind, a woman has to automatically prove their self to me that I want to settle down with you for the rest of my life, or even call you my wife, or devote my love to you for the rest of my life.
Oh my gosh.
I need.
So okay,
Have we
all
not
right.
proved ourselves? I'm joking.
So if we have devoted years,
Yes.
sweat, blood, everything, but still no commitment, then what would it be?
Then I understand. Then he's not worthy to be your husband.
Ooh. Ooh.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
like that.
Obviously, it's a vice versa thing. You cannot delve inside of a relationship, right? And give your 100, and the other person not giving 100, and still expect that 100 out of them. It's just it's insanity, right? Like you're giving yourself 100. That person may not even know how to receive your 100 or how to give back 100. So you're either going to endure it or you're going to release it and say, no, you are not the one for me. I can't say there's a naturally one person born in this world for each person, right? Because you could settle, you could be content, you could say, okay, you have the characteristics that I like and I could get along with, I could live with for the rest of my life. And then you may dive into that. However, to say there's one person for each person, no, there is not.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. My husband has said the same thing. Like, I'm like, what? He's like, nah, like, it depends on what you ever, like, you choose in life. If you chose this path and you chose this person, then this is what's going to happen.
Exactly.
If you chose someone else, then that's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what? He's like, nah, life is full of choices.
In agreement with him 100 on that. On that, it's agreement 100%.
Okay.
Because a lot of men, until they are woke, they're lost. We are like, and the thing is, you can't blame somebody who's oblivious, right?
Could you say that one more time?
I said, until men are woke, they are lost. Right?
But I feel like that's the same for females as well, though.
However, women are built different. You get what I'm saying? So you guys are definitely more intact earlier than men are. So when you guys are ready to love 100% to the lifetime, men are still not there yet. Or I can't say men. The majority of men are still not there yet. You know, you guys are more advanced. You guys more in touch with your feelings or your emotions, I should say, right? And so forth.
Okay. And at what point would you say in your life you knew you were in love? And at what point you knew you went into love, but you were really never in love?
Okay. Complex question. So there's a way of loving and loving right, right? When I felt I was in love, I wasn't loving right, right? So it was,
okay.
I think I was clouded with lust, right? I was clouded with the mind mantra. This is mine. So I have to love it, right? As we are kids, we grow up with this mantra like, that's mine, that's mine. So if somebody touches it or takes it from you, you feel slighted, right? Your ego is almost like, yo, that's mine. Why are you touching? Why? You start to cry as a child. Like, why are you touch? That's mine. Leave it alone. It's mine, right? And you grow up with that. So as an adult, when somebody starts to come inside your space or take what you feel is yours, you feel slighted. You feel drawn back. So at that time, you're still going through the pangs of what you think love is. Right? You may fall in love. You feel like, okay, this is mine. And you dive into it. And you're like, okay, this is feeling good. Right? Until you realize this love is empty. It's like an empty cup. There's nothing going in here. It's just empty. It's just hollow.
Okay.
Right?
So would you say
that will wither away no matter what? Because as much as you try to hold on to it, there's nothing to hold on to. There's no rigidity to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So would you say at this point in your life, you found love?
Definitely. I found someone that I would dedicate my love to for the rest of my life. It's not to say you
Oh,
you can
that's so
find love with
sweet.
many people, right? But you
I,
find
Yeah.
somebody
I
say, yo, you, I will dedicate my love to you for the rest of my life because you're worth it.
Right. Right. You got some poems in there? Like,
I think he's just speaking facts. You know, when you're speaking
Thank
facts and you're speaking genuinely about something, it sounds sweet, but it's like, nah, like I'm just telling the truth. Like I'm just being honest.
It's the truth. I'm not saying you can't find another person. That's why I said, remember I said, there's more than one person in life that you could say, yo, you are worth it. I will dedicate my love to you, right?
right.
I'm not saying your love is grown and it belongs to one person in that growth, right? But when you find someone, you say, yo, you are worth it. I could dedicate my love to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something special in that person.
Right.
You know, and that person you have to put on a pedestal above the rest. It's just automatic.
You said it. Facts.
So,
Facts.
It's just the
right.
thing about love. I think like it's an effort. You have to make an effort because as you were saying
Yeah.
that, you know, it has to be rational. I do agree with that in the sense of there's going to be times where you don't feel your emotions. You don't feel like loving that person because they do something that it's annoying to you or irritates
Right.
you.
Yeah.
But you have to choose, like, am I going to choose to love this person every day of my life till whenever I've chosen to love this person
Right.
or chosen to love this person? So it's an effort.
It's a total effort, really and truly, because it goes back to your guys' question when you ask, can you love someone without intimacy? If you can't love someone without intimacy, you cannot get married to somebody.
It's true.
You can't get your love to somebody. You cannot be in a long relationship with somebody if you won't love them without intimacy, because something happens to that person,
Right.
you're just gonna fail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna
Right.
they cannot use their tool, or their mind is not the same, so they're not giving you the same affection.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't
Right.
have to be sexual for it to be intimate, right? But if you cannot be intimate with a person, or if you cannot love the person, without being intimate with them, then there's no sense of you guys being together. Like, that's to be I'm only speaking in the context of marriage, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
of marriage, when you have vowed, now you've devoted yourself to somebody, right?
A
So,
monogamous relationship.
right? You get what I'm saying? Well, there's polygamous relationships same way, however. You know what I'm saying? But you devoted yourself to that relationship, right? That scenario. So,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the fact, if you devoted yourself to that relationship or that scenario, now your obligation is to that, regardless of if something happens to someone in your scenario, in your relationship, because you can't be intimate with them doesn't mean that you shouldn't have love for them, because that should be your confidant, your partner, you know what I'm saying, your lifelong. There's more to it than just you transpiring in some type of intimate affection or sexual affection, however anyone wants to put it, right? And you have to love somebody without intimacy, because it's natural love. You know, I could love you without the intimacy because it's natural. Like, it doesn't even have to be an intimate relation. It doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be full on affection, right? I love you for who you are. And that's when you know you accept somebody for their totality.
Very true. Very, very true.
And you call yourself Dr. Love because you got the answers and everything. So, Dr. Show.
Well, exactly. So what we're going to do, we're going to stop it here. We want you guys to comment down below. Tell us your thoughts. What do you want from a female? What do you want from a male? How do you view this conversation?
Yeah.
And let us know. Comment down below, please. We want to do an
not me literally, but
we want to know if you guys want to do maybe another session, but we actually get a panel out. We have some females, some males, and really get a good conversation going.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Right.
All right, so before we go, Jay, tell them what they gotta do.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Please share the video and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a
beat.
All right.
So we thank so much. Thanks so much. It's too late, guys. We thank Mr. Shola for coming out tonight, giving us his philosophy, Dr. Love, about, what we should look into. And we're out. Peace, guys.
Peace.